I sent it to him. Yay! Chatterbox 64, something witty and exciting. You can tell I'm on the ball today.
Yeah.
Coming at you again with Day Trois Qua and Skittles McStabby Pants.
Yeah, hola.
Ready to discuss all sorts of random, weird, wacky shit going on in the world and laugh at it if we can.
Yeah, why not?
Just cry, just terrible two grown men crying. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, laughing at it's usually better, but maybe a good cathartic cry might help once in a while.
Wouldn't that be the most fucking awkward live hangout ever? Fucking two grown men sobbing the whole time. So fucking awful to listen to.
Everything's so sad. I can't laugh at it anymore.
In my head, that's like so like you tune in and you're like your whole body cringes like, oh no. But somewhere out there, that's probably happening right now. Somewhere out there's probably a fucking hangout that literally is exactly what we just said. And there are people that tune in and are like, this is so amazing. They're in touch with their feelings. Oh, man. Oh, so fill me in on this Grid Girls thing. They're basically like hot chicks that walk around formula races, I think.
Yeah, essentially. I don't know. I don't know a huge amount about it, but yeah. And then people are giving, like, the Grid Girls themselves are like, hey, yeah, thanks. Now I don't have a fucking job.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't mind it at all. I never felt degraded or fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's the same thing with booth babes, man. They flipped out on that shit for fucking nerd cons. I'm a nerd too, like, so I get to say that, right? But they flipped out on that shit for nerd cons, and they're like, no, you can't have girls and slippy outfits. That's your stuff. That's degrading. And it's like, yeah, but those chicks were making money, man.
Yeah, they should be able to decide. They should be able to decide whether they're fucking degraded or not.
Yeah. Well, and if a company wants to fucking just have a bunch of hot chicks for advertising, fine. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, it generally works.
An opponent of it, don't fucking buy their product.
Yeah. Well, again, it's I would wager a guess that a vast majority of the people complaining are not attractive enough to pull it off.
Well, here's my thing. A lot of the people that were complaining in the con issue were actual con goers, which was really sad.
That's weird.
But I have a feeling when it comes to these Grid Girls and the Formula One racing, it's not the fans that are fucking upset.
No.
I bet you it's complaints by a lot of people that don't even fucking watch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing with comics or, any other shit. Just something they found to complain about.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're not involved in the process in any way. So, like, catering to these people is not going to make you more money. It's going to make you less.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody was just like, hey, I see someone hot chick being paid to be a hot chick. Like, that upsets me. So I'm going to fucking... I don't watch Formula One racing or anything, but it's got to be bad.
If I did... I don't actually watch any racing because racing is boring as shit to me. I think it would be cool if you were at the place, but like on TV, I just don't care.
Yeah, I can't even. I wouldn't even want to go watch it at the place.
Well, I bet it'd be like redneck fucking central, man. There'd be some drunk motherfuckers in the crowd. It'd be so fun to watch.
Yeah, people watching, I guess, but I mean the race itself.
Like, the race itself, I wouldn't care, but the people watching, that's the part I want to watch.
Yeah, especially fucking stock car. Like, it's literally just going around a fucking circle, or an oval, sorry.
Yeah, a big oval for like 8 hours or some shit, crazy shit. Yeah, no, I've seen it like 500 laps and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that the Indy 500 was actually because it was 500 fucking laps for like the longest time.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, man. Yeah, I don't understand how you can sit through that. Yeah, other than, again, like you said, to watch the fucking people that are excited about it.
I think you got to be like a real car guy. Like, I'm not a car guy, even though I can work on cars and I can fix, like, most stuff I can repair on a car if I really want to, or if I have the tools and equipment. Like, I can rebuild a transmission and shit. I just don't have the fucking tools and stuff to do that, like, at my house. So I won't do it.
Yeah. See, I'd love to drive those cars. Holy shit, that would be a fucking blast. Like from remember
golf is so much
bucket
fun.
list. Yeah, and the bucket list where they're both driving those fucking cars, just fucking hauling ass by themselves. That looks fun. That would be fucking fun.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, watching it,
It's like golf. Golf is boring as snot to watch unless there's something real specific that you wanted to see going on, like you're a real big fan of one of the guys. But you go play golf, it's super fun.
Yeah. Golf is tough to watch.
A lot of fun to go do. You can have a couple beers on the course while you're playing.
Yeah. I used to. I don't know if I ever brought this up before, but I used to drop acid and then go play around.
Yeah. You've talked about that before, and like I said, it's fucking awesome. I never did that. I would love to play golf on acid.
Yeah, I basically drop like right before, like maybe 15 minutes before I like check in or whatever. That way, by the time it hits me, I'm away from people.
So I
don't have to deal with anybody really. But yeah, try reading a fucking green while you're high on acid, dude. That's an interesting time.
Oh, I don't know how to read a green anyway. I'm terrible at golf.
Yeah, well, try when it's fucking moving around on you when you're trying to fucking stare at it.
I probably
it's all
do.
Fucking wavy.
You don't understand, man. There ain't no time I got there in less than triple digits.
Mm-hmm.
My score was never even close to par.
Yeah, I think I came close. I came within 6 shots of it. 78, I think, is the best I've ever shot.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah,
you gotta be really good to do that.
Never happened.
Dude, you got to be really good to shoot a 78. Like it's fucking. You got to be really consistent in your swing. You got to be putting pretty well. It is not easy to even fucking approach par. You know?
Oh yeah, I would definitely concede you're a better golfer than I am because I didn't even get into like the fucking 80s or 90s.
Yeah, see, I played a lot, dude. Like I used to play like Jesus, man. For a while there, I was playing like at least 2 or 3 times a week, usually like 4 or 5. You know, because it was really cheap. Like the municipal course here back then was like $10.
Yeah, I never got more than like a game a weekend. It was cheap. I just was super fucking into going out to the beach and stuff. So it was like I'd play like once a week and then go to the beach a couple times on the gas money that I saved not playing golf.
Yeah, no beach to distract me here. So.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I'm like 45 minutes to an hour away, so that's always like a fun option. On any given day, it's like, you just drive out to the beach for like $5-10 in gas, you know.
Yeah. once you start playing good, man, it's it's fun anyway, I guess. But yeah, once you're really kicking ass and you can actually put the spin on the ball and shit, like
I think it's fun no matter what because you're walking around and it's a really nice field.
Yeah,
you've got some sort of goal and something to like engage yourself in that's challenging. And if you're smart, you're doing it with friends so that you're all having a laugh the whole time.
Yeah. Me and my friends would get pretty nuts out there. No, it was usually a good time, dude.
It's the way to go. But that's the way I feel about like the racing. I'm sure it's really fun to do, and I honestly I think it'd be a lot of fun to be out in the crowd because a lot of these crowds look like really crazy. But that's
golf events, you mean?
No, the Formula One racing. I was tying back.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
I was tying it back in. I'm like,
that's what we were talking about.
It'd be a blast to be out there because, like, you get to go around with these crazy rednecks, all these drunk people having a good time. It's their weekend or whatever, so they're cutting loose. I'm sure it's a blast, but
it would be
so weird that they suddenly would be like, "Oh, we got to get rid of the grid girls. It's sexist."
Yeah, I'm surprised they agreed to it. Like fucking Formula One. Like, did you check with your fans? Do the fans have a problem with it? Did the ladies, the grid girls, feel objectified? Did they feel degraded? It turns out no. It turns out they love their jobs. They got to go to Monaco and fucking, all these different places, and
get paid to do it, and just to wear a bikini and fucking show off how hot they were.
Yeah,
and get all these like get all this like positive attention. What a horrible job.
Yeah, it's weird how
some of them snagged some pretty damn decent husbands out of the gig too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Indeed. There's somebody. Few of them became trophy wives, I'm sure, and I'm sure they don't have a fucking problem with that either.
Because it was their choice. Nobody fucking made them do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a good place to meet some people that are fucking pretty fucking well to do, and you're a hot chick that they might be interested in hooking up with. You might get something out of that too. It might be a little bonus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, if not, just the job itself probably paid really fucking well, and you got to travel to all these places. Fuck yeah, dude. And now, fuck you, man. There's some people that don't want you doing that shit.
Well, and what's weird is like, when did being good looking turn into like a bad thing?
Yeah. Yeah,
like, well, it's a whole just a bunch of ugly chicks that are just mad at the fucking world because they're not hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. It's whether they, I'm sure they don't realize it themselves, but deep down, it's for the vast majority of them, it's got to be motivated by jealousy. Again, not consciously, probably.
Yeah, subconsciously, of course.
Yeah, but like I would imagine that has to be a big part of it. Because again, this was something that back in like the 60s, 70s, like this was a big part of feminism, was being like sex positive or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Oh yeah, I mean, like birth control had just come out, and it turned out like, oh hey, chicks really like fucking too.
Yeah,
when they don't have to worry about getting pregnant every single time.
Yeah, so things like that would have been seen as liberating, like the Playboy Club and that, like the women that worked there felt, like emboldened, or not emboldened, but empowered by being able to show off their sexuality. And now it's gotten to this fucking weird puritanical bullshit from, the left of feminism, where like, no, you're being degraded. I know you don't feel degraded, but trust me, you're totally feeling degraded.
You just don't know. You don't know how you feel.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, man. Yeah, fucking mind your fucking business. Leave my comic books alone. Leave fucking Formula One alone. I don't have any interest in it, really. But,
well, I mean, ESPN is getting like that too. Speaking of the 401, or not 401, Formula One. 401, like a fucking retirement thing. All right, yeah.
Fuck IRAs.
But no, like, ESPN is also turning into this weird fucking social justice warrior thing.
That's been going on for a while, dude. That's been like a couple years.
Oh, I don't watch ESPN. I just caught like a little bit where they were talking about like all this stuff about the first something player. I forget what race or whatever. Mm-hmm. And like this big dramatic thing. And I'm like, who fucking cares, man? That's not even the sport you're fucking watching. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, I don't watch ESPN anymore because of how they've gotten over the last couple of years, dude. Yeah, I will not watch. They're hammered, dude. They've had to fire a bunch of people over the last couple of years or so. They're tanking big time because of that.
Yeah, losing a lot of them.
Won't stop, dude. A lot of people have gone over to like the Fox Sports. Like Colin Cowherd was really big. He went over. A bunch of them have just jumped ship, dude, because they're tired of that fucking. Or well, there may be other reasons. I'm just guessing.
Or they want to make more money, and that's where the fucking people are going because they're sick and tired of the fucking preachy nonsense.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of shit going into that. That could be, I'm sure, a major factor. They probably saw like, dude, you guys are dumb. Like, this is sports, man. This is not, something that's naturally tied to fucking. Progressives, I would guess the average progressive is not a huge sports fan.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. I mean, look at the fucking soy boys, dude. They're not fucking watching football.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a much more conservative audience, generally speaking.
They're probably trying to think of how they can pad and hobble the really good players to try to make it all equal.
Yeah. No, it's again. Remember the Harrison Bergeron story, dude? Fucking
yeah. That's what I was getting it from. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like they're just trying to figure out how they can hobble everyone else to make them equal.
Yeah. So like, hey, you're too fast. You got to carry like 60 pounds of weight, and hey, you're slow, so you're okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the soy boy kind of thing. That seems to be that kind of mentality. It's weird. I mean, it's like, why would I get mad at, like, I'm not a good looking dude at all. So why would I get mad? But why would I get mad if like hot dudes are selling T-shirts or something?
Yeah, well, you have a different mentality. That for that reason alone, you should be mad about hot dudes selling it. You know what I mean? That's the mindset of a fucking of these fucking idiots. Like, oh fuck, I'm not good looking, so fucking I don't want anyone else to be able to make money just for being good looking.
Yeah, it's like if you had like an event with a lot of ladies and you had a bunch of real hot dudes fucking walking around looking good, you'd be like, that's not a lot of me, man.
Yeah. It's
fucking
yeah.
And congrats to those dudes for making a ton of money off of just looking good. like the Abercrombie and Fitch, I think it is, right? They always have a bunch of like hot dudes with like no shirts on out in front of their store.
Yeah. Like, dude, all that shit's gonna end up being fucking attacked eventually.
I don't know, man. I think we're getting to like a boiling point where it's really likely to just jump the other way again.
Yeah, I think it's been indulged for a while, but now people are starting to have started to realize how much it's affecting things. So they're going to start actively opposing this bullshit.
Well, it's like, I play VR chat a lot, right?
Right.
Yeah, like I play a lot of VR chat, the game. Well, a lot of the people on there are like kids, like, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. And man, they got no tolerance for that. Social justice. They think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, my son, he's 13, dude, and he this was a while back, but like out of the blue, he was like, man, liberals are freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I was like, because again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but like I want my son to think for himself. Like, I don't want him to automatically believe what I believe or any of that shit. I want him to be a critical thinker and think for himself. I avoid, trying to influence him in any of that way. So for him to hear him say that, I was like, yeah, like I didn't want to say it to him, but I'm so fucking proud.
My parents were like that. My parents were like that with like religion and stuff, especially. Like they were just like, because I think both of them grew up and had to do like religious schools.
Oh, wow.
So they were both very much like, if you're interested, we'll take you. If you're not, don't worry about it. It's up to you.
Yeah. For me, so my mom literally at one point when I was an adult, like apologized for making us go to church, going to Catholic school church. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I think
I'm
also
sorry.
Like,
I shouldn't have done that.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it depends on like what area you're in though, because some areas like that's just a social thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're gonna get to know a lot of the people in your area, and probably a lot of the people you see at your church are not, super religious anyway.
Yeah, I think that was a big. Ekanaro, thanks for joining us. I think that was a big part of it. Where we lived in New York, upstate New York, very small town. So I think if you didn't go to church, I think people would almost look at you a little sideways or something. I think that was a big part of it. Here where we live in Arizona, the town is there's a lot of Catholics. There's a lot of fucking different churches too, but like nobody really gave a shit if you didn't go to church. You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly. Being in California is the same thing. It's like, you don't really get looked down on if you're not a churchgoer, but I do know that there are a lot of areas where like you're better off just going to church on Sunday morning.
Right. Yeah, especially the smaller communities, I would imagine, similar to what I was talking about in where we lived in New York. A town of less than 1,000 people, but you go to church and there'd be fucking 500 people going to church.
You and the rest of the town are all there, essentially, and it's a good way to meet people and make friends and do business and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Indeed.
Oh, man. All right. I got a couple of little articles that I thought were kind of funny that I combed through.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. This is actually kind of fitting. Let's see here. Load up the screen share. All right, I became a plus-size fitness model to say "fuck you" to the world's body standards.
Jesus Christ!
My God! This is January 23rd, so this isn't even that old. This isn't like a couple of years old, like you would think. She's not even attractive.
No,
she's
kind
of ugly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind a little. I kind of prefer them a little chunky, but goddamn, that is.
Well, she looks like That's a bad haircut. The clothes are super unflattering.
Right.
And her face is just nasty looking. Like she just looks like a nasty person.
Right. She looks like she got hit in the face with a fucking shovel.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. But yeah, that's.
Oh, she got asked to model for stock photographs that would be available in Getty Images as part of a project to depict more authentic and diverse representations of women in the media.
Isn't she being objectified, though? No, I guess she'd have to be attractive, so I guess not. But
yeah, no, I was going to say that's for hot chicks.
Why would you put her on a fucking track, dude? That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's all her, like, exercising and shit.
Yeah, I guarantee you. Well, I don't want to say that. Never mind.
Oh, man, I have the lack of
the only exercise she's getting is doing this photo shoot.
Oh, here we go. Exercise has always been a huge part of my life as a plus-size person. My high school athlete years translated into an adult interest in continuously finding ways to stay active. I don't believe her.
I do not either, dude.
Yoga, CrossFit, boxing, swimming, powerlifting, and running. I don't fucking believe that that's true at all.
Yeah, if you're that active,
always stayed in that size 18 spot.
Eating.
No, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, if you're that active, you must be eating every fucking second that you're not doing all that shit to stay that.
And just
that
nothing but like cake and fucking McDonald's, man.
Yeah, because I'm thinking I eat pretty fucking horribly, and I am pretty fat. But it really doesn't take a whole lot of activity for me to just even eating shitty.
Well, anybody, even people that have a harder time losing weight, like if you're that active where you're doing like yoga, CrossFit, boxing, swimming, powerlifting, and running, even eating really bad, you're still going to end up losing a lot of weight. Like you still might be fat, but you're not going to be that fat.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It doesn't take much, at least for me. It doesn't take a whole lot. Again, I don't even do that a lot of times, but yeah, it's. Why do they? I don't get this, dude. Like, who believes this bullshit? Who believes this chick is that fucking active?
Yeah. Oh no. Oh man, look at that fucking. What is that posture? What is she doing?
Having a stroke?
It's not exercising. Yeah, what you really want to do with your back is just twist it in really awkward, unnatural fucking ways.
Right.
Great for your back, man. Great for your back. Oh man, do we want to see this gallery? We exist, diversity in plus size bodies. Yes, we do.
Oh god.
Oh, that is. Wow, I would never dress that badly. That's not that bad.
Hey, at least they didn't show the front.
It's flattering. Like she's wearing a nice outfit. No, it's a different chick. This is
it'd be different. Like, because she's covering most of her fat. If she was wearing a fucking thong, but Jesus, yeah, something like that. Well, that there's not much you can do with that, dude. Jesus Christ.
What is? They put a belt on her, and her legs just cover the pussy naturally. There was no need to worry.
Yeah, try getting at that fucking snatch, dude.
Oh God, what is wrong with her? This is the weirdest outfit.
That looks like it was taken somewhere in my neighborhood, dude. That looks like it's in Arizona.
Somewhere, yeah, it does look like Arizona. Could be Death Valley in California.
Yeah, that's true.
Death Valley in California? I thought Death Valley was in Arizona. Never mind.
No, Nevada, actually.
Nevada, okay. There's some deserts in Southern California, too. They look like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything up until the mountains before San Diego. Like, the mountains you come down out of to go into San Diego. Up until then, it's all desert from Arizona all the way there, man. Like more than halfway through Southern California from the Arizona border.
It looks like she's got a front butt. There's an extra butt on front of her.
Damn, dude.
There. I'm not sure what that's all about.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Damn, those are some thick-ass legs, dude. Like, up front, she's kind of fat, right? Like, she's got the rolls a little bit. Got some fucking flabby arms. Look how fucking thick her legs are, dude. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, oh yeah, some people are really disproportionate.
It looks like a fucking funhouse mirror thing, dude.
Oh, man. I'm a fat fuck, so I get to make jokes like this. Damn it.
I am also very overweight. Like, I'm like 100 pounds overweight. So, Yeah.
Oh wow, that
But I
poor
don't
little
look
dog.
bad.
It
Like
looks
my
like it's
legs,
worried.
my legs are in shape, dude. I guess from hauling around my fat upper body.
That dog looks like, man, I could be the next snack. Save me.
That dog's getting thrown in the microwave, dude, as soon as this camera goes off.
Oh,
Fucking quick snack.
see, this looks a little more proportionate though.
Yeah, see, that's not bad. Yeah, her legs aren't all bowed out all crazy, like fucking. Yeah.
She carries the weight proportionately. That actually doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah, like she took a bite out of the. That's an actual donut. It's an actual big ass donut she took a bite out of.
That's how she got so big. Oh, she's got a gunt. That right there. That is a gunt. Where your gut looks like it has another cunt in it.
Dude, I wonder what it's like fucking chicks this fat. Like, it's got to be an effort to get to the fucking snatch, dude.
You're like putting on a fucking snorkel.
Seriously, dude. Like, I'd imagine you literally have to hold the fucking stomach back.
With that
like,
one,
if you let go, you're fucking not getting out alive, dude.
You're fucking go. You might end up unconscious, man. That thing's gonna fight you.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, her name on Facebook is Kelly Belly, Ohio. So she's fucking proud of that.
Yeah. This is also, judging by that skin color, this is the first time she's been outside in months. That is fucking almost glowing. She is almost glowing.
God, I can't. Oh wow, this chick is. Wow.
Yeah, compared to some of the other ones. Yeah,
that
a little bit of
hair right there. Like, she doesn't look half bad. She's obviously real big, but
yeah,
she's got
crazy.
like a flattering outfit on. But that hair, man, it's just that is crazy. Like
There's nowhere to go with that one, dude.
Wow.
Dude, I bet she looks. I bet when she's floating, she looks like people in the Dead Sea look when they're floating in the Dead Sea. Like it's above her waist, like it's halfway. She floats and the water's still only like halfway up her thighs, just from being so buoyant.
I bet. I know double chins are a thing, but she's got like triple bellies.
That's fucked up, dude.
It's just
she does have the third fold there, doesn't she?
Yeah, there's like 2 extra bellies on. Oh man, no. Oh wow, that face is so red.
No, those are rosy cheeks. She's like
rosacea, where your face is always red, maybe.
Could be, or again, it might be her first time outside in a while. The rest of her skin is pretty fucking light.
I'm just thinking she's ready to fucking keel over, man.
Yeah, that one's actually not that bad. She doesn't have the weird fucking leggies,
this one
out legs. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not great, but it's compared to some of the other ones we saw.
She's a cool chick. I'd hit it.
Yeah.
The red hair right there. Dude, I like the scarf thing. Like, we're gonna take this tiny little scrap of fabric and it'll be art.
God damn, dude.
This is a weird selfie they found. All right.
Wait, was she part of it? She actually looks all right. She's not bad at all.
Well, it's just a weird selfie they found. That's kind of a bizarre choice.
All right.
Again, the double bellies.
Yeah.
And look at that.
The legs, dude. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, holy shit. How is there any muscle under there to move around with?
Oh god.
Like, it seems like it would be crushed under the weight of that much fat.
Well, this chick has lost a bunch of weight. So you can tell she's real big, but she's probably lost a bunch of weight too, because like the way her arms hang and stuff.
Yeah, a bunch of extra skin, dude.
Yeah,
being stretched out. Yeah.
So kudos to her. It's just going to take a couple of years for that skin to tighten up a little bit, or you might end up having to get surgery.
Yeah.
All right, that was the end of that.
All right.
Let's see what the.
Stop objectifying those people. Those poor women being objectified.
Here we go. Let's see. I also became a professional masturbator because fuck you world, I can do it by myself.
So yeah, Akinara's empowered.
Oh, he wanted to see her do something on, not just pose on the track.
I want to see evidence of her doing these activities she claims she's doing. Because I would imagine her, if she attempted all that shit, she's going to keel over.
Oh, man. Well, and then Akinaro is apparently going to have nightmares, so I'm sorry, dude. Oh, that's why he's into those lolicons. They haven't gotten, big enough to be that fat. Oh, man.
Damn.
Oh, that was beautiful. I can't believe we never looked at that, because I found that article a while ago and I was just like, sometime we need a conversation starter. That's the way to go.
Yeah, that'll work. It fits in with the whole Formula One grid girls getting fired.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be those. We can go do plus size modeling too, apparently, because you don't have to be attractive to be a model anymore.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, what the fuck? I'm gonna start modeling shit.
Well, you still have all your hair, right? Like I'm like balding on top, so I don't think that's gonna work out. But you can probably do like the Men's Big and Tall magazine shoots with the full head of hair and shit.
Yeah, that's true, man. I got a big, thick, full head of hair still. Don't tell me I can't model just because I'm old and fat. Fuck you guys. Don't you fucking don't you degrade me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna ask this. I don't mind somebody, but there is a limit. Yeah, I don't know, man.
There's a couple of those that weren't bad, but almost all of them were beyond my. Because again, I don't like them really fucking skinny, dude. That kind of grosses me out. I like to have
like where the fucking bones are sticking out and shit.
Yeah, well, not even that much. Just I like them to be a little chunky, man.
Little curves aren't a bad thing. I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, I would rather have them a little heavy than too skinny, than really skinny. But that is beyond what I'm talking about. I was like joking, but I wasn't really joking when I said, like, how do you get at that, dude? If you're wanting to fuck that chick, it seems like a really big challenge to actually get to it.
Yeah.
Like, their legs are so fucking wide. There's a big ass gut. Literally, if you're going down on them, holding back the gut to be able to go down on them. You fucking, throw your back out doing that. That shit falls down and snaps your fucking neck, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, I genuinely concerned for their like cardiovascular health if like they want to fuck. You know what I mean? Like, are they gonna start getting a little red faced and then fucking pass out and have like a heart attack in the middle of fucking sex? Because that's not sexy.
No, definitely not.
I'm not sure what 20 kilograms translates to. Akinaro says he's like 20 kg overweight. But,
speak English, buddy.
Oh, fuck her, you mine her.
Right. Oh my god, that's the old joke of fucking having to throw a bunch of flour down and look for the wet spot.
Oh man. Well, it's like, okay, so a friend of mine dated a chick that's big like that, right? Like, he's still with her. Like, they're married, they got kids and shit. But like the first time she got pregnant, she didn't know until she had the kid.
Wow, that's insane, dude.
Yeah,
it's just so she literally didn't know until she went into labor.
Like, I think it was like a couple weeks before, like she figured it out.
Was she not getting sick, like morning sickness and all that shit? Guess not.
No, I'm guessing when you're that big, you don't have a problem keeping it down.
Yeah, that's just true. I have a fucking iron gut, dude. Yeah.
That is just like, it was, but the chicks look like that. Apparently there's a show you can watch. Like, I didn't know I was pregnant.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
On TV. I gotta find some of that on YouTube.
Use an ultrasound to find the holes. Fucking Akinaro, dude.
Oh, did you hear about the Olympic gold medal skier?
No. What happened?
Well, this is back in December, apparently, but she was saying that if she wins, she's not representing President Trump, just the United States.
Okay.
I was just like, what are you, a fucking kindergartner? Yeah, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
man.
amazing, dude. So edgy.
It was
I'm
just
not
such a funny,
doing this for Trump. Like, I hope you weren't doing it for any president. I hope you were doing it, for the country is great, but let's be honest, dude, you're doing it for your own fucking glory.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure you're glad that the country's proud of you or whatever, but I mean, really, you're doing it for yourself.
Well, and you're
know?
always hoping that your backup is going to be in some sort of like commercial or something, that you're going to make enough money to, or make enough of a splash to become some sort of public figure, so you can like advertise shit for fucking a whole bunch of money, and they'll put your name on shoes and cereal boxes and shit. Like, let's be fair, that's what you really want.
Yeah, a lot of them. I'm sure a bunch of them are doing it because they love, a lot of them, most of them probably, are doing it because they love doing it. But again, a big part of it also, their drive is probably to become famous, dude.
Well, but also that much commitment to the sport doesn't always leave time to build a really good career.
Right.
Like you probably have a decent job, but like you give up on a lot of opportunities for your career in order to pursue the Olympic part,
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was funny. But that was I figure my clever segue into the State of the Union address thing.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's so weird, man. I only saw a couple little clips, but like, did the Democrats just not applaud anything he said?
Yeah, well, I think like Schumer was applauding a few things here and there. But yeah, what's her name? Is it Pelosi? That bitch looks like a witch to me, dude. Like, I don't know what it is, man, but she literally looks like she casts spells in her spare time.
She's got like a cauldron in her fucking congressional office.
Throwing in Eyes of Newt and fucking whatever else they fucking do.
You gotta admit, there's probably fucking some voodoo dolls in that bitch's office, dude. There's no way.
Yeah, but dude, how do you sit there that stone faced? And that's the thing, and that's why they're saying like Trump played you, because he talked about shit that everybody's pretty supportive of, and they still sat there stone faced, dude. Like he was talking about specifically
like unemployment for like black people and women, like so.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big fucking deal. Like all the tax cuts, the bonuses that employees got, all sorts of things that are just like, the economy picking up, just real general, vague, good things, which is what you kind of expect.
Yeah, I think
hilarious.
It's a State of the Union. I think it's not like a campaign speech where you're like kind of laying out your fucking thing. You're just saying like, hey, this is how things are going, and why you're going to talk about. You're going to want to be positive, and especially knowing he must have known, dude. I really think he fucking knew that, and that's why he kept everything positive to make them look bad. I think he's that shrewd of a fucking showman, dude. Where he's like, all right, I know these fuckers are going to fucking sit on their hands. So I'm going to talk about shit that pretty much everyone supports, and you guys are going to look like fucking idiots because you're sitting there with your sourpuss face, not doing a fucking thing, dude.
It's honestly looking more and more like their campaign plan is to be anti-American.
Yeah. Who was it that actually... Was it Pelosi that actually scorned somebody for talking positively about like family values kind of shit?
Oh yeah,
it was her, right?
I'm pretty sure.
My God, dude! Like, how do you fucking attack the family, dude? Like that seems so fucking. It's ridiculous, dude. I can understand if you don't want to necessarily scorn people that don't happen to have the traditional nuclear family. But scorning people that do, that seems really fucking odd to me.
And dumb, because like, especially with the way our economy is, having two breadwinners is a big difference in how well a family functions.
How well off they are.
Kids and then like all that kind of stuff, man. It's really expensive, and if you have two people working together to help raise kids, it makes a big difference in the opportunities that kid has.
Yeah, it's a fucking really big. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, I missed the Akinar in the chat. He says it's like saying, back to the Trump thing. It's like saying I'm not going to speak English because Trump uses it.
That's exactly. Good. You know what? That's a pretty good fucking point.
That's coming up next.
It's almost like that.
I'm going to speak Spanish because Trump hates Mexicans. Yeah.
Which, like, I don't think he does.
Like, yeah, no, exactly, dude. It's a fucking. He doesn't like the ones that are criminals that are coming over. He wants that to stop, and he wants any illegal immigration to stop. You know, which I don't see why that's a problem, dude. You know, he's even working, dude. He's even trying to work with them to, he's not wanting to just deport all of them, dude. He wants to fucking work with the Democrats, and they're just refusing to. No matter what he offers, they're fucking refusing it.
Yeah, because what he's not offering is just they all get to stay.
Right.
They're not willing to compromise, and what's going to end up happening is they're all going to get deported.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's like, look, the only ones I would give an opportunity to stay are the ones who served in the military. Other than that, as far as I'm concerned, deport them all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel bad. I mean, like, their parents committed a crime. If they want to be angry at somebody, be angry at the Democrats who were like, no, you should be able to stay here.
Yeah, any of them that had been working towards citizenship, like, I would give maybe a nod to them as well. But the ones that were like, I couldn't even be bothered, even when Obama, even when it's possible.
Especially the criminals, the ones that really have to go no matter what are the ones that have committed crimes.
Yeah,
they're done.
Yeah, dude, if you're fucking in the country illegally and you're comfortable enough to fucking commit crimes and shit, yeah, you gotta fucking go. You fucking have to go.
Especially if they're like on some sort of government assistance, we should probably deport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another crazy thing is like you can come over illegally and immediately start getting benefits, dude. That's fucking amazing.
That's ridiculous. Like that's why would we want to give them legal status so that they can get more?
Yeah, it's really nuts.
It's like I don't have any problem with the welfare and all the unemployment stuff and WIC and all the other kind of programs to help out like single parents and whatnot. But man, I'm not interested in bringing people over so that they can take our money when they haven't ever worked.
Yeah, they haven't never actually put anything into the system, dude. Yeah.
I mean, legal or illegal. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, we shouldn't be bringing people over that can't fucking support themselves. Why would you do that? It's insane.
Yeah. No, that's why, I'm like, how are you... why was there ever just a straight lottery to begin with? Like, why wasn't there some kind of merit-based thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you got people that, again, could easily contribute in higher paying jobs, that kind of shit, that are not getting in because it's just a random thing. Just we need this many from this country. We're going to get this many from this country.
And then they've got all these laws and rules preventing people who have legitimate skills from being able to use them over here and earn a good living.
Yeah.
One of my dad's friends, she was a dyke who had her girlfriend from Australia move over, and she's a registered nurse, knows all the stuff you need to be a registered nurse, and they wouldn't let her use her certification, so she had to go through the whole process of being educated completely from scratch again.
Right. That's fucking ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, I mean, she was talking 2-3 years of schooling just to be back in a job she'd already done the fucking school for.
Mm-hmm.
Why not, a 6-month program that goes over whatever is different? You know what I mean? Like, she already knows how to fucking run an IV. Just explain if there's any differences in the way it's done here versus there, or if there's any legal issues that she needs to be aware of. All that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not that much different, dude. It's fucking crazy.
It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be a whole 2 to 3 year program. It should be just a quick little fucking like, hey, here's what we do that you don't do. Here's what we don't do that you used to do. Now here's take a test to make sure that the rules are what the new rules are, and then you're on the job because you already did this for years and years.
Yeah, they should at least be able to test out of it.
Period.
or show like, oh, okay, you're good there. We can test you out of that. Like, because yeah, you can do that in a lot of colleges. Like, let's say you've been welding your entire life, and you have to go for a welding certification. You can fucking illustrate that you know everything. You don't have to sit in the class for fucking several months. You just get the credit. It should be something similar to that, man. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, or they could work as like a what do you call it? What are the trainees? Internship. Yeah. Do like an internship for like 6 months to a year.
Yeah,
They get paid to go and do the nurse work, but they work under the supervision of other nurses until they're feel comfortable that they got what they need to know.
Yeah, so they demonstrate that they can do the job and that they have the knowledge. Yeah.
That's the way I would go. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be some differences in the way medications are prescribed and like which medications are more common.
Right.
All that kind of stuff. Like so there is stuff to learn, but it's
but a vast majority of it is going to be universal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying it should be something that takes a few months, if that.
Well, I would say bare minimum 6 months, just to make sure, because not everybody's going to be as quick to pick up on the.
Right.
But if it's like an internship, like a year would make sense. I don't see it because they'll get most internships like that are paid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least something, not the actual, because nurses make a fucking lot of money, dude.
Yeah, and they should be able to earn enough to make a living while they're getting all their stuff done and in their field, because we want more nurses.
Yeah,
like that's something that's useful to us. So why not bring somebody over who knows all the stuff and use that skill? And then everybody benefits. Like we have another skilled labor and another person contributing to making the economy work.
Yeah, I was looking it up. Registered nurse median pay, so half make more, half make less. $32.45 an hour.
Yeah,
that's a good living.
That's a really good amount of money.
Yeah. And again, that's
the
just
only downside is your hours are going to be like insane. Like you're going to be working like 20-hour shifts and stuff. Whatever so
you're going to make a lot of money. Well, again, at overtime, that's going to be like almost $50 an hour overtime, dude.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy to me is why are their hours so insane? Like, what's the benefit? Like, do you want more tired doctors and nurses to make more mistakes? Like, I would think like 8 hours a day should be like the norm.
Yeah, or maybe 12. Like 12 should be the kind of the max, to be honest with you.
I would say 10.
Yeah.
I would say 10, except in like an emergency. Like if a fucking bomb went off, like in the next town over, you're going to have people who are going to work, 24 hours and stuff.
Yeah, but I wouldn't think 12 like every day, like 5 days a week. I was thinking like that would just be like you're not supposed to.
In case of emergency, okay, yeah.
Right. Like it would normally be an 8 to 10 hour shift. Like maybe you work the 5/8s or 4/10s to get 40 hours or whatever. And then if needed, you can work an extra 2 to 4 hours. But yeah, anything over 12, you're getting into territory where your brain's just not going to be as sharp, dude.
Yeah, it's real bizarre to me that they have all these doctors that work like 20-hour shifts. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, you're just asking for trouble, man.
Yeah. Yay. What were we talking about? We were talking about immigration.
Right. Yeah, but I wonder, because I've heard what do you call it? There's theories out there that like Obama and Clinton, beyond being big Saul Alinsky fans, were basically kind of. Are you familiar with the Cloward-Piven strategy?
No, never heard of that.
Yeah, okay. It was from back in like the 60s. Two sociologists / activists came up with an idea to basically overload the welfare system, basically to its breaking point. And then basically they felt that it would lead to replacing it with like basically a universal income kind of thing.
Oh, but universal income is a terrible idea. That would never work. Unless you legitimately had robots to do all the jobs.
It would be
a terrible idea.
All right. Yeah, you can't remove that incentive, dude. You just can't. That's the whole issue. One of the fucking core issues with communism, dude, is removing that incentive to work hard or work more or that kind of shit.
To work at all. Everybody's gonna get the same amount, whether you work or not, essentially. Like, that's the way communism works, and that's the problem with the universal fucking income, man. Like, my job is pretty fucking sweet. Like, I get paid to sleep. But if they were just gonna give me free money, I probably wouldn't want to go there.
Yeah, if you're gonna get the same to sit at home, why the fuck would you?
Yeah, what would be the point? Who's gonna fucking do the work I do? Nobody wants to do that work, man. Well, I mean, there's people that want to, but they're few and far between, and no one's going to do it when they could just be getting free money.
Yeah. But yeah, that's again, it's an interesting thought. Even if it's just for just a crisis system, just so it has to get changed to something that works better. It's an interesting idea.
That sounds intriguing. Yeah.
But
I can see that, but I can't see I don't think the universal income would come out of it.
Yeah, to bring it back to universal income or guaranteed minimum income or whatever. Yeah, that's a bad idea too.
Well, no, if there was a guaranteed minimum income that you got if you worked, that's not a bad idea. That's like minimum wage, essentially.
Yeah, we kind of already have that too.
Well, I mean, the difference would be instead of it being per hour, it'd be like per year.
Right.
The way that sounds, guaranteed minimum income. So they'd be like, well, the lowest you can pay your employees is $30,000 a year or something. You know, like.
Right. Yeah. Although they still find exceptions, obviously, like the restaurants and shit like that. But, yeah.
Yeah, I wish they would change that. We really, the whole tipping thing needs to kind of not be the way it works.
Yeah, it would be better if they just. Although I don't know, man. It's it gives a way bigger incentive for the fucking people to really go the extra mile to fucking serve you better. But yeah, the restaurants, fucking owners and shit, really are taking advantage of incredibly cheap labor. You know, because they don't have to pay fucking shit. Yeah,
and they can get rid of people and get other people really easily. And if people call in sick, there's nothing to really. They don't get anything if they call in sick. You know what I mean? Like their pay is less than half of what they would normally make on that day if they're sick. I want people to stay home. If they work in the food industry, I want them to stay the fuck home when they're sick. I don't want them serving me my food.
Yeah, we don't want them sucking it up and ending up spreading the fucking disease more. Yeah, especially with the new flu strains coming out that are fucking killing people.
Yeah, we're probably mostly in the third world still, but that's going to come over here eventually because apparently we want everybody in the third world to live here. And so we are the third world.
Plus, yeah, just the how easy it is for people to move from place to place in the modern world is going to cause that to happen. It's going to be like. Fuck, what's the movie with Bruce Willis where they sent him back in time because of viruses and shit? God damn it. 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys.
Oh, 12 Monkeys. Yeah. Okay.
Although that was deliberate, obviously, but again, the same thing could easily happen just by fucking nature.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, like, the fact that we haven't had a major plague wipe out the majority of humanity yet again is kind of surprising. Like we've really managed to stave that off for a while. So
yeah, it really is. I mean, you consider like what happened with the Black Plague or the Black Death or Spanish flu back in the day. Like, dude, wiped out millions and millions of people, dude, and that just doesn't really happen anymore.
I'm waiting for like the Captain Tripp scenario. I don't know if you've ever watched The Stand by Stephen King.
No, I've heard of it. I heard there's a lot of books involved in it.
It's a great sort of like visual demonstration of like what would happen if a flu basically just wiped out the majority of people.
Right.
You end up with just these tiny little small groups of people just trying to get by.
Right.
And then back down to subsistence living, essentially. Like they'd have to go back to like farming,
right,
wherever they are, because there's not enough of them to bring, all the technology to bear.
Right.
But there's also another book that's similar called Earth Abides. It's from the 50s. The what?
Mhm.
No,
I
it's
was
like
making a
the
joke.
Fallout series of games. Yeah.
It's a
But,
different thing that causes it, but it's essentially the same.
Yeah, Earth Abides is a fun book because essentially, like a flu, goes through and wipes out most of humanity. And you don't actually see society get rebuilt. You see how society basically ends.
Wow.
And how, like, humans continue on, like, the very few that are still alive, back to basically, like, in, like, tribal living, like, Native Americans and shit, hunter-gatherer.
Yeah. Although there's theories being proposed that has happened already. Over time.
Oh yeah,
Like I don't know if you're familiar with
ago.
Graham Hancock, but
yeah,
he used to think it was aliens or whatever that did the shit. Because there is a lot of really inexplicable archaeological shit out there that just cannot be fucking explained, and it could not have been done by a Stone Age people or whatever fucking aged people. But yeah, it proposes that it, not necessarily a virus, but apparently like cataclysmic Earth activity, like seismic activity, that kind of shit, occasionally just wipes out civilization every 12 to 24,000 years or something like that. And just bam, back to the fucking Stone Age.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so easy because, like, what is it? Joe Rogan has a great joke, like, and I forget what the joke is, and I couldn't do it justice if I tried to tell it. But essentially, it's like if you were alone in the woods by yourself, how long would it take you to make a cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
Like the average person has no fucking clue how to make all these amazing technology or technologically advanced, things that we use all the time and rely on.
Yeah. No, I used to fucking bring that up to people when I was younger and they didn't understand what I was saying. I would be like, do you really understand how fucking radio works? Like just a regular AM, FM radio.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd be like, yeah, and they'd kind of explain it. And I'm like, no, dude, I mean the actual fucking hardware. Do you understand? Would you be able to fucking recreate that?
Yeah, could you assemble one?
Yeah.
Metro 2033 is apparently a pretty nice book about how society would work after the apocalypse.
No, that's a game, dude, isn't it? I think Metro 2033
no, he says the book, not the game.
Okay. Oh, I missed that one. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the last book, 2035, so I'm assuming Metro 2035 is also a nice book and shows how people would actually behave.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's one of those things, like, you're going to have people that are, basically, like, turn into fucking, like, real savage motherfuckers. And you're also going to have some people who genuinely try to work together as, like, a group. You're going to have religious zealots claiming that this is, like, God's punishment on the earth. Who, if you're smart, you'll kill right away.
Right. Yeah,
because the last thing you want is that shit. Yeah, just get religion, get rid of that altogether.
Yeah. Although I don't know, it's I kind of feel like at one point religion actually was an aid to civilization advancing. I mean, that time is long fucking past. If you're
careful in how you construct it, because the way it was constructed was people just sort of like searching for meaning in a meaningless world.
Mm.
Now that we see like all the things that went really, really bad and all the things that went really, really good, if you make religion a legit like owner's manual for the human body, essentially,
right. Yeah,
that would make sense. Because you take the moralistic shit out of it, that would be the smart way to go.
Yeah, because I mean, it almost very quickly, I would say, once civilization gets going and gets some momentum build up, it very quickly becomes a means of control more than anything really positive anymore. Like getting over the I'm bigger, so I'm going to take everything from you kind of thing, or just behaving because if not, you're going to hell or whatever. I get that that's somewhat necessary early on in civilization, but yeah, it ends up becoming not a crutch, something to hold back civilization. And that's probably been true for hundreds, if not thousands, like 1,000 years or something. It's been a few hundred years probably since religion was really necessary, I think, as far as holding up civilization. Although I don't even know, man. I think even without religion, I think civilization would still be okay. It would still advance. You know what I mean? Like people would come together, they would have laws established. You know, they would eventually come in big groups and have laws established, that kind of shit. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like more of a harm than positive in the long run.
Oh, Akira also brings up Mist, the show on Netflix, the Stephen King one.
Mm.
The actual book, I don't think goes into it. It's actually drastically different. But the series on Netflix shows how, like, even if there's small groups, they're gonna fight.
Mm.
Like,
wait, was
there's
that
always
a movie?
gonna be like conflict. Yeah,
it was a movie, right?
Okay, so there's the book originally, Stephen King, the book, and then there's a movie which follows the book itself pretty well because it's actually all in like a convenience store and stuff,
Right,
and just this most savage, depressing ending ever.
Oh my God!
And then there's a series that just started on Netflix like last year that is a totally different take on it. It's essentially like they're telling a story with a lot of the same basic theories, but not
just going down a different way, basically.
Taking the story in a different direction with more characters. Right. Oh, he hates the you don't like the series. The series is interesting in being a little more accurate about how small groups might interact and how crazy people would get.
Right.
The movie is better, though. I agree the movie is better, but
the ending was kind of ridiculous. Like, it still seems like, why would you not just fight to the death? Like, it's the same issue I have with why did the Japanese kill themselves instead of surrendering? You know, in World War II. Yeah, although I understand the society thing on the Japanese thing, but like, why wouldn't you still keep trying, dude? Like,
dude, I'm with you. I don't understand why they would do it either.
It did make for a really memorable. It did make for a really memorable ending, though, dude. And you're just like, holy shit. They were that close to being rescued, dude. That's fucking crazy.
And he fucking killed his wife and kid and then killed himself after the rescuers went by because he was just like, nope.
Yeah, why the fuck, dude? Yeah, I would do the same thing. I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking live after I just killed my fucking wife and kids, dude. Yeah. No. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that movie from like 10 years ago. And people stress over that. Oh, he says he seriously cried with his brother when he watched it. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, SM Sterling has a series. That's a new series of like what would happen if technology ended. So essentially, like, the basis for that one is suddenly electricity doesn't work, gasoline and gunpowder stop working. Like, they still burn, but they don't burn with explosive force anymore. It's just like a piece of paper burning. They can't build up any pressure.
Right, that's weird. Why wouldn't they just have it run out instead of fucking making the chemical reaction different?
When you get to the later books in the series, it starts to kind of explain that. And it's super fun and interesting. But it's just sort of like you're thrown into it through the point of view of this ex-military pilot who's in a plane flying a group of people somewhere, like a small plane flying a group of, like, a family out to their, like, you know, luxury home or something. Right. When suddenly, like, the fucking plane stops working and fucking all the lights go out, essentially.
Wow, it's crazy.
And so it's super interesting because it shows, like, how, you know, how quickly people just die off in millions and millions of people die off just from starvation.
Yeah, just from not even trying.
You know, some people go out to move out to the rural areas where all the farms are to, like, go work the farms.
Right.
How brutal shit gets. Yeah, basically, when anybody who has, you know, the strength of they get a couple of bully boys together with some swords can fucking just take over and create their own society.
Yeah. No, that's, it's if you think about it, civilization is a lot more fragile than you really realize. Like, there's a lot of things that could easily take down civilization pretty fucking quickly. Financial, like if all the fucking world's markets crash, like that could fuck shit up. Again, technology getting fucking wiped out, or disease. There's so many things that could just crash.
The average family is like 3 days from starvation.
Yeah, yeah.
Most people on average have about 3 days worth of food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's not like me in my room alone. I have enough food to last me probably 3 or 4 weeks.
Right.
If I rationed it out.
Most people don't do that, other than Mormons.
I tend to buy in bulk. So like it's like if I'm gonna buy something that I really like, I'd rather buy it in bulk and spend like half as much, even if I'm spending it all up front,
Right. Yeah, so you don't have to spend anything on it again for a long time. Yeah.
Oh, he says turn off power for a minute in a big city and you'll end whole civilization. We fucking found that shit out in New York not that long ago, and the fucking power was out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, the flood and all that. Nuts. Yeah,
the flood or the snowstorms. I mean, it wasn't even for a couple of weeks. I think it was just for a week, and people were starting to go fucking nutty.
Yeah, the financial one. Financial one would be interesting. I guess there was a movie. I don't know the fucking name of it, but it basically kind of showed what would happen if all the world's markets just suddenly collapsed, where people would be all of a sudden like, you mean all this paper money in my wallet or all this money that I had in my bank account is just worthless now? Like how that would quickly break down civilization too, even if everything else is still working. Yeah. And especially since the financial markets for the most part are just kind of make believe. They're not the fact that we don't have anything actually backing our currency, that it's essentially just a fucking series of IOUs with the Federal Reserve.
Well, I mean, think about it. The amount of resources available to us is really not that different from day to day.
Right.
So the concept that the amount of money we have would drastically change and continue to grow despite the amount of resources not growing, it's absurd.
It's pretty ridiculous. It seems like there's the crash is inevitable, like there's going to be some kind of financial crash because of that.
Yeah. Oh, Bitcoins are going to crash eventually. Bitcoins are going to crash fucking massively.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting one, man. Because, I think the government or whoever, somebody's going to take that down if it doesn't take itself down. You know what I mean? Like if it doesn't crash.
It'll eventually have to crash because they only have value because we agree they have value.
Yeah, well, that's the way our economy works anyway, though. Like that's not different than.
But the government is what sets the value of our dollar, whereas.
Yeah, the cryptocurrency doesn't have the backing of an official market.
And all these people try to say that like one is better than the other, and it's like, no, they're both fucking dumb.
Yeah. They're both essentially just because we agree upon it, Because I think I've talked about it here before, but I remember in school them talking about the gold standard thing, how the gold was backing our money. But they never actually fucking pointed out that we took off of that by Nixon, dude, back in the fucking 60s.
Yeah.
Like, they never fucking actually say it. They say, oh, yeah, the U.S. had their money backed by gold. This one guy one time wanted to change it to silver. I can't remember who that was, but some random guy. But they never actually fucking point out that we got taken off of it, which I find really bizarre. That they wouldn't be teaching that in school. Like they'll talk about it, and then they don't bother to point out that but we were taken off of that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's.
I don't know. Maybe it was different for you in your school, but I know, like here in Arizona, the school looks.
They covered it, but they never really covered like how serious of an issue it really is.
Right. But they actually at least pointed out that you're not on the gold standard anymore, like in high school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
they did cover that.
Ours did not, dude. Which again, I find really suspicious that they don't point that out. And it can't be just here that does that. Yeah, I'll have to see. My son will be in high school pretty soon. So
I don't know that they still cover it though. But remember, like I'm 37, so
yeah.
I don't know. Oh, let's see.
Yeah. It would be interesting to try to make some money off the Bitcoin and make sure you cash out like just in time, like right before it crashes. You're like, all right, here, take this. I don't, give me regular money for this. I wonder what impact that would have when it crashes. Like if it'll actually affect regular currency as well.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Because it's getting, somewhat prevalent, man. It's more people are getting into it.
Yeah, I don't know. That is a good question. Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool that we have like like this currency that's not. I don't know, man. I lost my.
Yeah, not tied.
I don't know where I was going. Give up. I give up.
Yeah. Well, something that wasn't controlled by the government, as opposed to being independent of the government and not easily manipulated the way the regular money is. Yeah. Although, yeah, Econom's got a good point. 6 years ago, Bitcoin was only known for like using that on the dark web, dark net. Because for the longest time, I would make that joke. Like anytime somebody said something about assassins or hitmen, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, not enough Bitcoin to hire them," But now it's used for fucking everything, dude, and other things. Obviously, guns, CP bullshit, watching red rooms, that kind of, or paying to shit to happen in red rooms. Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know how real that shit is, but apparently that the red room shit, at least some of that is actually real. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, actually, I don't think I've heard of the red room stuff.
Okay, the red rooms are like basically like they'll fucking like abduct somebody or whatever, and then they'll be in this fucking room, and somebody can fucking pay to have them do something fucked up to them, up to and including killing them. Like they'll be like, yeah, chop his leg off, or fucking, I'll give you fucking 10 grand or whatever if you chop their leg off, or fucking. And apparently some of the shit was really vicious, like killing babies and shit like that. And again, some of it was
supposedly happen.
Well, this would have been a kind of a dark web type of thing. You're familiar with the deep web or the dark web concept, right? Like a lot of crazy shit happens there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I know what the dark web is. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Well, it was there, and then again, Bitcoin would have been used to avoid it being traced. But yeah, apparently, you can find those sites probably still today, where they're actually going to, abduct people, and you can pay to have them fucking killed in the way you want them killed and shit like that. And that was usually used by, Bitcoin to pay for it.
Damn.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So assassins, obviously the Silk Road back in the day, I think that's all been taken down, but I'm sure there's other shit that's replaced it. They would operate through Bitcoin. You could buy weed or, any drugs really, and just pay with a Bitcoin.
Yeah, that is a little scary though, man. That is some creepy shit. It wouldn't surprise me if that stuff goes on, especially with like super fucking rich people.
Yeah, exactly, dude. But yeah, like I said, that's one of the appeals of the Bitcoin is the fact that it can't really be traced the way the regular currency can.
Yeah, that is true. That is true, and I think that's going to be one of those things that could potentially be one of the issues that governments use to try to go after it. But like, I don't know that they can necessarily stop it because it's not central to one country,
right?
So unless you had every country in the world was like,
yeah, they'd have to agree to it.
There's no way they could really put an end to it.
Mm-hmm.
You could make it illegal, but how are you even going to know when people have it?
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I thought Red Rooms was pretty well known. Stabby knows about all this weird shit, but didn't know about fucking Red Rooms. I find that hilarious.
No, I'm not into fucking gore, I guess.
Yeah, still, man, it's fun. Like Akinaro, it's like even for him, it was really fucked up. Yeah, that's Akinaro's into some weird shit, man. But even that went a little too far for him.
Oh, I mean, how did that not go too far? You know what I mean? Like, oh, so creepy.
Yeah, he said the 2 girls 1 cup freak people out, and those fucking Red Room videos are essentially like getting slapped in the face with a machete.
Yep. Yeah, no, that sounds pretty fucking grotesque. Anybody that ran one of those, I'd happily fucking crucify.
Yeah.
No, people most have of the time busted. I'm into like, if you're gonna execute somebody, just make it quick and be done. You know, like they're done. They're no longer a danger. You know, don't fucking become the monster you want to kill.
Right. Yeah, no, there's been other ones where like they would have fucking chicks in like dungeons, and they were constantly fucking like, you know, getting raped, and they're actually showing that shit on the dark web. Like some of those people have gotten busted, dude. They eventually will get busted. But yeah, it's fucking horrible to see somebody being treated that fucking badly. You know, that horrifically. You know,
and if society broke down, those people would be out there along with the people that are decent.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Only you wouldn't have the police to call, because the police probably would be some of those fucking bad people.
Yeah, it really depends on who fucking takes the initiative when shit like that happens. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to be in charge? Is there going to be a bunch of fucked up people that survive? Or are the fucked up people just going to be more assertive and other people just go along with it? Like, there's a lot of fucking terrifying fucking implications.
Well, you have people, you have people like me who are like, look, man, if that shit happens, when the really dangerous people try to take power, you got to kill them right off. And you got to do it fast, brutal enough that nobody's going to fucking argue.
Yeah. I would literally be like taking somebody like that out, and if people were fucking giving me shit, I'd be like, well, fuck you. Do you know where that leads? What that guy was just talking about. I don't want to fucking kill anybody, but letting that motherfucker live in this fucking environment, and you know, this post-apocalyptic bullshit is going to be even more disastrous. You know?
Oh man, whenever I watch the post-apocalypse shows and movies, and there's like certain people, you're like, that person is going to be a serious issue. And I don't know if I trust you enough to load that clip, man. I don't know, man. I mean,
yeah, dude, seriously, Akinaro. You have earned that distrust. I apologize. I'm not
sure.
Yeah, we've heard that before too, buddy. Oh man. Yeah, I'll fucking click on it. Let me see. I don't believe it's safe, but I'm going to click on
it. There's some guy pouring gas. It's about human rights, and it's something about PETA.
Oh, this is a game. Oh, this is his page. Oh, I accidentally hit his thing. Never mind. I thought I was hitting the link, and I hit his fucking... Okay, there we go.
Okay, it's not bad. Okay, I feel safe watching that later.
Right. Yeesh. Okay, I can't listen to the sound, so I'm not sure what the fuck's going on.
I'll listen to the sound later. I just can't. I don't want to do it in the middle of the podcast, because then it'd just be like a minute of dead space. Like, Jesus.
All right, I don't know what they're saying, but at the end, he's lighting that doghouse on fire.
Yeah, but you clearly see there's no dog in it, so...
Yeah.
But PETA's fucking insane, man. Those people kill more animals than they save.
Yeah, PETA's nuts, dude.
Oh, Greenpeace is also pretty fucking insane. Plus, they fund eco-terrorists, so, like, fuck those people, man. PETA and Greenpeace are the worst.
Yeah, and see, those are things that started out well, but the militant crazy fuckers didn't get shut down. Yeah, they didn't get shut the fuck up, and they fucking, it went crazy, dude. Because, they're, admirable things that they want. They're trying to save lives.
It's like when Sargon and Matoku were talking, and Sargon was saying, look, nobody else was really stepping up to do anything when I stepped up and did it.
Right.
And it's like, to be fair, who do you want really leading a group of people trying to like fight back against the SJWs. If I have to choose, Sargon is a lot more honest.
Right.
He might be a little up his own ass, but at least he's doing the best he can to be like truthful when he's dealing with stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not really interested in having that position. That sounds pretty fucking thankless to me, but
yeah. You're not going to get much credit because it's kind of like a group effort. And you're just kind of a figurehead, but you're going to get all the criticism for any bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's probably a big reason why he kind of dismissed that possibility for a long time. He's like, I really want someone else to do this.
Yep.
And nobody else was, so I don't blame him, you know. And I said, I almost feel like following Sargon again because he's actually fucking willing to still keep going when everyone else is bailing. You know what I mean?
Well, but he's willing to keep going in a way that's actually attacking ideas.
Yeah. He's definitely not without flaws, but man, he's still.
Well, nobody is.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have flaws no matter what you do. So, I mean.
Yeah. So somebody that's, pretty popular the way he is, that still seems to be trying to do the right thing to whatever degree is a good thing. You know, like I said, I found it really disappointing that Toker was fucking mocking him for it. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, the point I was just making was like the people you want to step up don't always necessarily do it.
Right.
You know, because now you're seeing like the skeptic community is being led by, you know, people like Worski and Matoker who really have no fucking.
They have no interest in it. They have no interest
in any sort of like honesty. Oh, he's off. All right, later. I can have a good night, man.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by.
Believe me, I know exactly what he's talking about when I talk about like you take the pills to sleep. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the fuckers hit you like a fucking train, dude. You're just out.
Well, no, yeah. The thing is, like the ones that I take, which are just the regular, you know, over the counter ones, they take fucking forever for them to actually hit me.
Yeah.
So I have to take them like 2 hours before I have to go to sleep. Like I'll have to take them at like 7 if I want them to work by like, you know, if I want to be asleep by 10.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, man. The difference for me is mine are Ativan, so they're like prescription, like anti-anxiety pills.
Right.
But if I take one, which is like a 0.5 milligram, you know, it kind of works to calm me down and make me ready to sleep in like an hour or so. But if I take 2, which I'm allowed to take up to 2,
right,
I'll be fucking out.
Yeah,
like, it'll be like 20 minutes later. I'm just like, fucking all weird and shit. So
yeah, or Seroquel was like that too. Fucking Seroquel kicks my fucking ass, dude.
I think I had Seroquel prescribed at one point. It was fucking weird.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it before. It's an antipsychotic or whatever, but holy shit, does it make you incredibly drowsy if you're just a normal person?
Yeah,
or maybe it does for them too, but they're used to doing it. But yeah, I remember when I was in rehab, they had me up to like I think 150 milligrams at one point, and I ended up having them cut me back to like 50 because you know, again, it was knocking me out, but I was also fucking like sleepwalking and pissing in the kitchen sink and shit like that. Like, you know, getting up, walking past the bathroom, like, you know, the bathroom was right next to my room. And I was like doing shit like walking past the bathroom and then ended up pissing in the fucking sink in the kitchen. You know, so I'm like, dude, you got to cut me back. This is fucking it's too much. And then I hear of people taking like 400 or 500 milligrams. I'm like, how is that possible, dude? Like people that are actually taking it as an antipsychotic are taking 400 or 500 milligrams and they're awake somehow. That just blew my mind.
Like as much as 800.
That's nuts. Do they just get used to it, or is it because their mind is different?
Because their mind is different.
Okay, so it affects them differently.
People take things that knock out like fucking an elephant and just still be wired.
Right. Well, it's kind of like people with ADHD. You give them speed and it calms them down, like that kind of thing, where it just affects them differently than it affects normal people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely
okay. All right. Well, I'm glad I'm not psychotic then, because that shit knocked me the fuck out. Always nice to get that.
I mean, I'm just looking at all the pills I was prescribed before I finally got the anti-anxiety one. 7 different things.
Yeah. What else do they have?
They tried to get me with Prozac, with Zoloft, Trilofon, which is a super old school fucking antidepressant. Venlafaxine, which is Effexor. That's the one that fucking almost gave me a heart attack.
Oh, damn.
Buspirone, which is the one I keep mistaking. What I keep mistaking for Seroquel, but it wasn't. I didn't get Seroquel. Doxepin, which I think is also an old one, and Gabapentin, which is like a nerve pain pill.
So they just kind of just throw a bunch of shit and just hope something finally works, huh?
Yeah. Oh, dude, and then that represents $10 a pop. So, I probably spent $80-$90 on fucking pills before they were like, "Oh, here, we'll give you the stuff that actually is for what you have the problem with and will actually work."
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I remember when I was in the second rehab where they didn't want to give you anything for sleep. They're like, "No, we want you to get back to natural sleep." And again, I went like
rehab for us is the worst. Not for me or you. I'm talking about for like the clients I work with.
All right.
It's literally like AA and stuff. Well, like there are people who will tell them to stop taking psych meds.
Yeah. No, I fucking hear those people. Yeah, and it kind of goes both ways. There's like alcoholics that will talk shit about people for being addicted to like coke or meth, who are taking fucking major like psych med drugs that are fucking them up. I can't think of anything offhand, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like they'll be all fucking high off of whatever, and then preaching about people for being addicted to fucking meth. Like, you're fucking hammered, asshole. Yeah, like it's obvious you're fucking high on some shit, and you're fucking. You know
what? I was just like, fucking worry about yourself, man. You know what I mean? Like everybody's different, and these people need to worry about themselves and not worry about what everybody else is doing because it doesn't fucking matter what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, and honestly, in my experience with the AA and NA, that's the way most of them, a vast majority of people are.
Oh, yeah. No.
A few that need to feel the need to fucking run their mouth and be all preachy and shit.
We have to
talking about shit they don't have any fucking clue about. Like you're saying, like telling people to get off their fucking psych meds. That's a fucking ridiculous statement, dude.
Yeah, it's dumb. But like I said, it's not all the AA meetings. We figured out which ones it was and what group was behind them. It was some sort of crazy religious group.
Yeah, not surprising.
I forget what it was, but like we know which ones not to send people to now. So like we're not,
Yeah, you weed them out. You're like, all right, I guess we're not going to that one anymore.
Yeah.
Lunatics.
We had a client come back from one of those, and they were saying that it was wrong to take my pills, and I don't think that it is because luckily he was one of the ones who's like, no, I have to take my meds. They keep me from hurting myself and other people.
Yeah, that's the thing is people that don't have these, mental issues, don't understand what it's like for people that do. Like, no, they fucking need that to fucking balance themselves out or whatever the fucking case is. They fucking need that to approach normalcy of some kind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, uncompensated, a lot of the clients I work with, you would think that they were like just a completely different person.
Yeah.
They
no, I know what you mean, dude. I remember seeing like actually what made me realize it is I remember there was when I worked at the Catholic school, there was a kid that I didn't know was medicated, and then one day he wasn't, and they kind of like warned me. I'm like, what do you mean? What's the big fucking deal? And I was like, holy shit, that kid's fucking nuts, dude. Like he's fucking way hyper, way fucking out there, and that's what kind of sold it for me. I was like, wow, some people need to be on that shit. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that the problem with the medicating kids isn't that like some don't need it. It's that they prescribe it to way over the top to any kid who's just a little bit fucking boisterous. It's like
I would have especially guys like young boys are just naturally fucking a little rambunctious, dude. So a lot of that can probably present as ADHD.
Yeah, it's so like every kid has ADHD now. It's like the fucking in thing to fucking drug your kids so you don't have to be a parent.
Yeah.
It's really what it boils down to in a lot of cases, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There are legit cases where like some kids just cannot sit down and fucking concentrate on anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I worried about it with my kids because I have that shit. Which never got diagnosed. Might have maybe I would have stayed in school. Who knows? But I worry about it with my kid, and I would bring it up to the teachers, and they're like, "No, he's just a fucking kid, dude. He's a boy. Like this is how boys are. They have trouble paying attention, a little bit, and they have they're rambunctious, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll let it go then.
You have good teachers in your schools then, because like a lot of teachers, man, they'll jump at the opportunity to drug one more kid to make them less fucking work.
Yeah, make them more pliable, more easier to control.
Yep, a lot of teachers are like that.
Yeah, well, I'm glad the teachers he's had so far haven't been like that. That are actually telling me like, okay, no, you're overreacting, sir.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and then like I think I have a different perspective just because I got to see like how bad it can be.
Right.
Like when they tried to drug my sister because she had a fucking imaginary friends or something with her other friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like they went off and basically created this sort of like imaginary world that they would like talk about and have fun with and make stories about, and everybody just overreacted like that meant they were crazy or some shit.
Yeah. Like they actually were seeing shit.
Like, yeah, well, both of them knew it wasn't real. It was just escapism. Like the one girl, her mom was like super abusive, but not abusive enough to
get her taken away,
lose custody. Yeah, but super fucking mentally ill, like super fucking bad bipolar.
No.
Who would like fucking stick knives on the walls and shit when she was mad.
God damn.
But like nothing that ever like technically harmed her, so they couldn't fucking take her away, kind of thing.
Right.
She came and lived with us for like a year.
Wow.
Because my mom was like, "Why don't you just stay with us for like a year while all this shit is going on?" Like,
yeah. See if your mom magically gets not crazy.
Yeah, well, but there was essentially like I think it was that or like foster care of some kind. And so we had her stay with us. Like, boy, man, the difference from her from the beginning of the year by the end of the year, she was so much like more like stable. The kid was way better.
That's not surprising.
I wish we hadn't had to give her back because she would, I think, done a little better if she just stayed. But she's doing all right now. She has a job and she's taking care of herself.
Yeah. Well, even that year, I would imagine would have given her some kind of base of knowing, like, oh, okay, that shit's wrong. I know there's definitely another way of fucking, being. Like the whole world's not as crazy as my fucking home life.
I'm sure it helped.
I'm sure it made a huge difference, man.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I can't imagine that, man. Like some of the shit I would hear from people. In AA and NA, it's like some of their stories of how chaotic their home lives were.
Yeah.
How do you fucking deal with that shit? Like, how do you do that as a kid? That's fucking horrible, dude.
You don't.
But again, it's normal for them. That's it's fucking. That's all they know.
Deal with it though. You just survive it. You know what I mean? Like it's a different mode of being. If you're in survival mode as opposed to. Like
the way
you as a person, you're not really developing. You're not really learning any skills. You're
surviving. Yeah, you're
alive.
You're shutting shit out, not really processing it, and just kind of stuffing it all down. And again, you're in a state of essentially like arrested development, where you're not really progressing.
Probably what drives a lot of the alcoholism is that suddenly they get out of that situation, and nobody has any time or patience for the fact that they didn't really. Learn all these social skills and how to deal with life as a kid. Now they're an adult that just doesn't really fucking get it.
And they're an adult and they're essentially that age, whatever age, especially they kind of say in AA that they're essentially the age when they started using. So if they started drinking at fucking 9 years old, now they're fucking 30, and a 30-year-old's body with a 9-year-old mentality.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know? Like, I assume they progress a little, but still, like, compared to a normal person, it's essentially non-existent.
Well, they definitely progress to a certain extent, but I mean, like, it's just not the same as
way slower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and I see it a lot of fucking dudes, especially early in recovery, are like really arrogant. Like you'll fucking hear them saying the shit like, "I'm a fucking grown ass man." Like, yeah, you're really not. Like you're fucking kids.
It's not something grown ass men say, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I say it when I'm fucking with Tonkasaw, like I'm trolling the shit out of him or his little crew. I'm a mature adult, rational adult, blah blah blah. I'm just fucking with them, man. That ain't my life.
Yeah, it's just to fucking set them off, dude. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's so funny because it's such an arrogant, shitty thing to say.
Yeah. But it fucking works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to get a fucking it's going to make him extremely angry. Yeah. Yeah. See, I wouldn't give a shit. I'm like, okay, buddy. Okay, I'm not mature. I get it. Whatever.
Yeah, I think he's still blocked or banned from Twitter or something, or his account is still suspended because it's still up, but it hasn't posted for like. He must have gotten like a week or two suspension.
Yeah, that's weird. That whole little crew, Destiny's little crew, or the guy with the caterpillar fucking eyebrows.
Oh God, like they're all fucking going crazy on each other. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. I hadn't followed them the last couple days.
It's not done yet. They're still at each other's throats constantly.
Yeah. I still think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that they took the time to create an IMDb page for fucking Tonkasaw. And put his fucking I don't know if that's actually his real name or if it's what they thought his real name was or if it was his wrestling name, but yeah, they actually, and there's very little on the page, to be clear. They didn't like.
I think it's funny that they exposed that like his claim of being a professional wrestler was really not a professional wrestler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like, just getting paid doesn't mean you're a professional.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like you still got paid to go and do like fucking what looked like retirement home shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It wasn't even like the minor leagues. It was basically just essentially backyard wrestling.
Yeah, was there like a Z League? Was there a Z? The last one.
Yeah, the entire alphabet to go through before you became the minor leagues.
Yeah, and he didn't look like he was doing it very well either. Like I can understand how he ended up injuring himself because it looked really bad at it.
Right.
It just looked so awful compared to like real wrestling. It doesn't really interest me because it looks super fake. But like what he did looked really fucking bad.
Yeah, no, it was obvious. Like they were just literally just standing there, like waiting to get hit and fucking. Yeah, it didn't look natural at all.
Like bouncing off of the fucking posts instead of the fucking ropes.
Yeah.
I saw that on one and I was just like, what? I only ever watched that one little scissor reel that got posted on Twitter. I never really watched anything else. But
yeah, I think I've seen like 10 seconds.
I found a YouTube video just to make sure that actually was a wrestler.
Right.
And they didn't just piece together people that looked similar or something.
Yeah. But yeah, it is kind of funny how those guys suddenly wanted to attack him and fucking, the dudes that are fucking with them, like that Pascal LaRue or whatever the fuck his name is. It was like talking shit like he wanted to fight him now that he knew he wasn't like this huge muscle bound guy. Like,
yeah. Well, dude, he was making plans to fucking meet some dude in fucking Tennessee to go fight.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll go over a couple of states, you go over a couple of states, and we'll fucking have it out. And I'm just like, you're a fucking loser. Get over it. What?
Yeah.
Fucking meet on the playground, you fucking lunatic.
Jesus. Dude, it's literally like both sides are just awful.
Oh yeah, well, both. When I say you, I mean both of them. I don't mean just one or the other. They're both fucking idiots.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining to watch.
Have a fucking fight, unless the one guy's just trolling the shit out of Tonka and winding him up, because I would do that shit. Yeah, we're gonna meet and fucking fight in Southern California, man.
Right. Yeah, that is funny.
I'm never gonna go, but if you show up, good for you.
Right.
And then
that would be
funny.
Is like, fucking funny. And yeah, that'd be funny to be like, I was there and he didn't show up. Yeah, he's an idiot. Like,
yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I'm the idiot. You fucking went all the way out there to fucking fight some dude. Wasted all this time and money, and I didn't fucking show up because I'm not fucking 12.
Right.
Oh man, that'd be so fucking funny.
Yeah, that would be hilarious if they actually did troll him like that, dude. Holy shit!
There was
because I could see him doing it, dude. I could actually see him showing up like it's a real thing, dude.
There was a comedian who was talking about somebody who was saying like, "What would you do if you like somebody wanted to fight you?" And he's like, "I'd fucking call the police. I'm an adult." You know, like, if somebody tries to hit me, I'm going to call the cops and have them arrested. Like that's what would you expect? Well, it was Ben Shapiro.
Right.
The guy the teacher who was talking about wanting to fight him, and everybody's like, "What are you going to do about it?" He's like, "Nothing. He's an idiot. I'm not going to fucking do anything. I don't need to."
Yeah.
Don't look bad talking like that, like a fucking lunatic. What if he attacks you? And he's like, "Then I'll call the cops." Like,
what if he shows up at your house? Well, I'm fucking definitely calling the cops. What the fuck? The guy's fucking obviously unhinged.
Well, I think Ben Shapiro at that point was like, "I'm armed. I wouldn't recommend." He's like, "I have guns. I wouldn't recommend showing up to hurt me."
Yeah. He's like, "I'm a little dude, man. I'm not fucking
like,
physically attacking.
I'm a little guy. I'm not a big fucking."
God damn.
Oh,
that's funny. I was watching a clip of him talking about how he did, because I think he went to Harvard, right?
Yeah, he went to Harvard.
Yeah, and fucking, he was like, "No, I had some teachers that we obviously didn't agree, but we liked each other, and then there were other teachers that were out to get him." Apparently, dude, Ben Shapiro, Elizabeth Warren was recruiting him to go to Harvard, right? And ended up getting in like a fucking shouting match with him and like fucking talking shit to him because of his political beliefs. And this was the person that's supposed to be recruiting him, but she couldn't fucking stay back from her ideology long enough to actually be nice and try to fucking convince him to go to the school. I found that fucking hilarious, dude. Like, goddamn, even back then. Well, I guess that wasn't all that long ago, right? How old is Shapiro? Like 30?
Yeah, I think he's only like 30.
Is he even that old?
He might be like 28, 29, but I'm pretty sure
he's at least late 20s. So I guess it wasn't that long ago, but at least 10 years ago, I would imagine, if he was in high school. That recently, she was already that fucking crazy, dude.
Well, he's 34, so he's a little bit younger than I am, but not too much, though.
Oh, okay, so that would have been like 16, 17 years ago, whatever, 18 years ago. Yeah, I just found that hilarious, dude, that Elizabeth Warren was that fucking ideologically driven even back then. Like nowadays everybody is but she was actually supposed to be recruiting the guy and ends up getting into a fucking shouting match because his political beliefs don't align with hers.
I can't send this right-wing person to fucking college. That'd be awful.
Right. Although he ended up going there anyway.
What Ben Shapiro says, but I'm not gonna fucking sit there and flip shit because he fucking wants to say it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's that intolerance of, again, it's at the root of a lot of shit nowadays, that treating people like they're the enemy because they don't agree with you.
I had an interesting conversation with my coworker this morning because she's going to college right now. But she's like, she's in her late 40s. Yeah. Or at least it looks like she's in her late 40s. I don't ask her age.
Right.
But like she has an adult daughter that's moved out and shit. So I assume she's like late 40s or something. And she looks kind of older.
Most likely.
And she's kind of buying into a little bit of the Kool-Aid. And I'm just like sitting there thinking like, but we had a reasonable conversation.
Right.
Like there was no like nobody got mad or felt like, time to like scream and yell or you're an intolerant racist bastard.
Right.
But we just had a pretty an interesting discussion, and I didn't ever get to make my last point because I had to go, but it was unfortunate because my whole point is with this whole teaching racism in the school thing is how are you going to teach acceptance if all you're fucking filled with is hate? Like they just fill these kids up with like this intolerance and this hate, and it's like, well, how can you teach like compassion and acceptance, which is really what you want to replace racism?
Well, their idea, all you
got, man. I mean, you can't. There's no positive way to go from there.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is they think they are teaching acceptance, but their idea of acceptance is incredibly divisive.
It's intolerant. It's intolerant and it's fucking hateful.
Yeah, but they actually think racism. They're tolerant. Yeah. It's condescending. It's the condescending racism, dude.
Yeah, it's like I don't see where that's ever going to be a positive thing. Because she was trying to say like, oh well, maybe the black and brown students need some space to do, and I'm like, no. How is hate ever a good thing? At what point is being hateful and racist a positive thing?
Yeah.
Maybe it's their turn. She's saying, oh, it's the other one. She goes, maybe it's their turn, and I'm just like, you are so silly.
Yeah. No, that idea is going to keep the fight going back and forth forever.
Well, and I pointed out to her, I'm like, look, there's always going to be some issues between the majority and the minority in any given country. If you went to Japan, you would stand out like a sore thumb, and there are jobs you wouldn't get because you're white.
Mm-hmm.
And there are places you can't go in Japan, even if you become a citizen, because you're white.
Yeah.
There are businesses and stuff that will not deal with you. And there's similar issues in many other countries. If you're white, you're not going to get into all the things because you're white. Because they're not white countries. They're like
right.
They're Indian or they're Asian or Latin or whatever. Like
look at what's happening in South Africa. The fucking white farmers are getting fucking massacred, dude.
Yeah, literally, like murdered. They're just murdering all the people that know how to fucking grow the food. That's going to end real fucking well too.
Right. Yeah, it's fucking insane, dude. That even the score mentality is so.
Oh, if I was a white farmer down there at this point, man, I would sell off all my land right after I salted it.
Right.
I would salt it, sell it off for as much as I could get to get the fuck out.
Right. Like, here you go, fuckers. It's all yours. Well,
nothing's ever going to grow here
again. What country was it that really did kick out all the white people, and now they're like, oh, we regret it. Now we're fucking like a super shithole. There was some country in Africa. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Nigeria or something like that. It was one of the smaller countries, but yeah, apparently now they're like, oh yeah, now we're even worse off because all the white people are gone. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous kicking anyone out based on race. Like, dude, just
Mugabe.
Oh, Mugabe. Wait, that's a person's name, isn't it? Is that a country? I thought that's a person's name.
It's Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe.
Okay. Yeah, I thought
so. To embark on fresh land grabs, targeting the few white commercial farmers still remaining in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the white people in Zimbabwe.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's this whole idea, like, who are you even to score with? The people that you're fucking talking about are dead, long fucking gone. Just because you happen to share a fucking skin color with them, you're going to fucking treat people like shit. Or, dude, I don't understand why people would accept this idea that, oh, I'm not good enough because I'm a minority. I need the fucking assistance. Like,
that's really bizarre.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. It seems like that would be insulting to me. Like, fuck you, I'm not good. Oh, just because I'm fucking brown or just because I'm black, I can't do it and I need a fucking leg up. I need a fucking extra fucking bolt. I really wonder how much people believe that or just take advantage.
One of my cousins who's black owns two very successful, like, restaurant bars.
Mm. Yeah.
And runs them both, and he didn't do it with, like, some fucking government assistance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so the concept that would be like a necessity is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like a setting up for failure or like, why bother trying kind of attitude. Like, if I really believe that bullshit about myself as a minority, like, how hard am I going to try?
Yeah, because you no matter how hard you try, you're still going to be the guy that can't do it.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm just not equipped to do it without a huge amount of help. Like, fuck you, man. I don't know, man. I can never say, obviously, because I'm not a minority, but, like, I like to think. And again, there are a lot, there are definitely minorities that think like that. Like, fuck you, I can't do it. Fuck you, man. I don't need your fucking handouts.
Yeah, I don't think, I don't know, man. It's just it's weird. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, really bizarre. Yeah, again, this evening the playing field, this idea of payback.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
all
right
of
up
it.
there with the right wing, not the right wing, the alt right kind of like we're gonna, we want to get rid of all the minorities in the U.S. and make it like an ethno state kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's
fucking
all
ridiculous.
like the same kind of ridiculous bullshit. That really it has nothing to do with being white or black or brown or any of that nonsense.
Yeah, I think we really need to get back to valuing individualism instead of
there
this
was always an emphasis on individualism, but there was always tribalism in the U.S. For a period of time, it was more about your own culture, like it was not your own culture, like. It wasn't based on anything else other than your own interests. So like the Christians were super tribal with other Christians.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like it didn't matter what color Christian you were. You were a Christian, and that was the part that mattered.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Well, I was going to get in. I was going to say race and sexual orientation, but that did kind of matter for most Christians.
Oh yeah, no, that was still not tolerated at that point in time. Yeah. But there was a period where it was sort of like the Christians versus other people, and then like if you're a fucking rocker, anybody who's a rocker is part of your group. Like it was social cliquing kind of stuff, but it wasn't about.
Yeah, it wasn't based on skin tone or ethnicity. Exactly. So it was still kind of messed up, but at least it was, you weren't automatically born into something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tribalism, I think, is always going to exist, though. There's always going to be like people that group together in like tribes and kind of don't really want to be.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just if you can combine a tribalism with still having tolerance for the tribes that aren't yours, that's all you really need. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The whole thing is weird.
Yeah.
It's weird to see everything sort of break down and suddenly like black people and white people hate each other way more than they used to.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. I mean, how real is that, though?
I don't know, man. I've never ran into a black dude and thought, man, I fucking hate you.
Yeah. Well, and how often I don't know, black people do kind of hate, not all, obviously, but I have run into a disproportionately large amount of black people that do seem to hate white people just for being white. But I don't really see that a lot with other races, dude. And again, that's mostly the town I live in. The town I live in is pretty bad as far as black people.
I have seen a lot of Mexicans that don't like white people when I was growing up.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't quite as bad.
Mexicans.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Those definitely existed, but there weren't many like that. Like I got along with a lot of Mexican dudes. Like most of my friends were Mexican growing up. And again, like you said, fucking.
I mean, part of my family's Mexican. Big section of my family is Mexican.
Oh, my entire fucking nieces and nephews are fucking Mexican or Puerto Rican. My brother, he's the only one that had a fucking knocked up a white chick. I got one fucking niece that's not half Mexican or half Puerto Rican.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still though. I think just because there were so many Mexican people in California compared to like other areas, that I just ran into a bunch more of the racist ones. I don't think it was.
Yeah, it could be. It's
the Mexican culture or anything.
That's the way black people were here. They weren't a majority, but they all fucking hated. Literally, until my early 20s, until I moved to like Phoenix, I really thought that pretty much all black people just hate white people. And again, when I moved to Phoenix, I realized like, oh, that's not the case. I just lived in a town and it was really fucked up as far as that went.
Yeah.
It depends on where you're at. Yeah. Most Mexicans are fine, dude. Most Mexicans got along with white people. Most Mexicans, although do secretly fucking hate black people. I didn't find that out until probably within the last 10
fucking
years.
Koreans don't secretly hate black people. They just fucking hate black people.
Right. Well, that's what I've heard. I've heard that actually it's pretty out in the open in a lot of places that Mexicans don't like black people. In my town, though, like they'll pretend to be cool with them, but they fucking do not like black people. I was really amazed by that.
Yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip. Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
it's funny.
To show you
it really
condition. It's not about race. It literally racism is just a human thing.
I honestly think at this point that white people are less racist than anyone else at this point. That sounds crazy, but I think that's actually true now. I don't know a lot of white people that are fucking super racist, but I know quite a few Mexican black people that I've come across that do not like other races.
Don't know if it's less in as much as like there's this frantic push to make it seem like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man.
The social justice warriors are super fucking racist.
Right.
The majority of them are super fucking racist.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it manifests
anybody
itself.
Who's a minority is completely incapable of dealing with anything ever on their own.
Yeah, that they can't make it unless the system is skewed super far in their favor.
Yeah,
but that's
really racist in my opinion. And that just
that's what I was talking about earlier. That's what I call that condescending, patronizing racism.
Yeah, so I think that there's just as much racism. It's just like now it's coming in a different guise.
Yeah, it's manifesting itself in a different way. Yeah. You know,
it's not about
instead of outright hatred, it's more of an poor little fucking minority. They can't make it on their own. You know, again, condescending, patronizing, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, well, but still racism, though. You're right. But I just think white people take out social justice warriors. I still think the average white person thinks about race way less than any of the Mexicans, black people, whatever.
I think if you were looking at the United States, that would be an accurate statement.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking at other countries, like I think Russia is still pretty racist. A lot of European countries,
quiet
still a lot of racism going on.
I think
they're forcing people into the countries. The government is, but I don't think the people want it.
No, and that's what I think. There's going to be especially in Britain. I see there being some serious shit going down pretty quickly because they're getting fed up with the shit being forced.
Well, they're also getting. I think they're starting to get real angry about this whole like we're leaving the European Union, but the government just keeps refusing to do anything.
Yeah, that is fucking bizarre to me. Well, I guess it's not. I'm not really that surprised by it.
Well, it was supposed to take a couple of years, but at this point now, like the European Union is really not keeping up their side of the bargain. There's no reason for the UK to be like, all right, we'll end this in 2 years or whatever. The UK should be, you know what, we're done now.
Yeah. Although there's a lot of people in the UK.
A bunch of money.
Yeah. Although there's still a lot of people in the UK that are in charge that are dragging their feet too.
Yeah, they're dragging their feet. They're trying to talk about like we're going to try to make a deal and all sorts of weird shit. And people are like, "No, we're fucking done."
Voted for. Yeah, we voted to fucking leave. Fucking around.
Yeah. Well, it's like California with the fucking we legalized weed, but suddenly every city has to have its own fucking vote. Like there's no legal weed shops in my town, and it was supposed to start on the 1st of January.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's like, why the fuck are there no recreational shops in my city? That's ridiculous. It shouldn't be. Like at a certain point, you can't keep breaking it down smaller and smaller like that.
Yeah.
You can't have recreational weed sold in like the one town like 15 minutes away, but not in this town. Like that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it definitely gets a little fucking crazy, man. You're like, okay, so if I fucking, you could be right on the edge of one, and you pick it up and you drive a fucking block one direction and suddenly it's illegal. Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy. Like, it's different when you're crossing state to state. Like, that's pretty fucking obvious, but if you're breaking it down by municipality where it's legal or it's not, yeah, that's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
Yeah. Pretty crappy, man.
Oh, it looks like maybe it has finally.
Oh, really?
Okay, so it is actually happened in my town, but it's only like one of the places can do it yet still. So I guess they're going really slow. I'm not going to show you this article because it's exactly where I live. I think I might have mentioned it once or twice. I'm not really super concerned, but I'm just like, maybe not the best idea.
Are you talking about the name of your town?
Yeah, like the actual name of my city.
Yeah, you've mentioned it a few times, dude.
Oh yeah, I don't necessarily want to keep going.
No, that's fine, dude. Yeah, anybody that's interested, all the vast amount of people that are, obsessing over the show out there, you go back and you find it.
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying,
I know, dude. I'm fucking with you. Yeah,
but it is nice to know that at least one place is fucking selling it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yay.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could still smoke weed. Fuck. And honestly, I probably
can't really smoke it myself anymore. Like, unless it's just a super, super indica. But I can do some of the edible stuff if it's really indica, where there's almost no THC.
Oh, right.
And that's good for, like, it kind of relieves pain and relaxes you. You still get some effect. Like, you're still getting high.
Right. Just not getting the paranoia and all that shit. The uncomfortable.
Yeah, the sativa doesn't work for me because it makes me super fucking anxious and paranoid. Fucking cranks my anxiety meter to the 10.
But yeah, no, and honestly, like I said, I probably could, and I'd probably be okay. I just, if I'm wrong,
it's so much of being wrong.
Risk. Yeah, exactly. Like, it would be nice if I could still get high, but again, if it actually does send me back to using opiates and shit again, where that ends up for me, could end up with me being fucking dead, or in jail or whatever, bad shit. Yeah. So the risk is not worth the fucking reward. I don't need it that bad. I don't need it at all, obviously, but like, it's not like an overpowering urge. It's just kind of like, it would be nice if I could still get high.
Sort of like me and smoking. Like, every once in a while, man, I'm like, man, I'd really like a cigarette.
Right.
Like, I'll see somebody smoking like the brand I used to smoke, or I'll smell it and I'll be like, oh, that smells so good.
Mm-hmm. But or, where that ends up. That's a tough one.
Having a really good cup of coffee or something. I don't drink coffee much anymore. Like, once in a blue fucking moon, if that. But
I was thinking about that.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was thinking about. I think I mentioned it last time. The only time I drink coffee is at meetings, and I drink a lot of it. But again, it's only at AA and NA meetings that I drink coffee.
Yeah, well, AA and NA meetings are there's a lot of addiction transference, man.
Yeah.
Just it up to caffeine and nicotine. A lot.
Yeah, that's just true, man.
And that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, man, because if your drug of choice was real fucking bad.
Yeah. And sometimes the transference can be good. Like, you get to the point where you're going to the gym way more than you probably need to. Like, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I've seen that happen where dudes get addicted to going to the gym.
Oh, yeah. You get super fucking cut.
Yeah. So, like, that's the transference can sometimes be something positive,
Yep. That's true.
In the meantime, before you actually fix the shit that's making you obsessive or whatever to begin with.
Well, the way I look at it is, if it stops them from doing whatever it is that's really bad, then you're probably, as long as you're
that's a good trade-off.
State, you're better off.
Yeah, if you were using, enough heroin to kill an elephant, and now you're just drinking a shitload of coffee, that's a pretty good trade-off, dude.
Hey, man, if you were using enough heroin to kill an elephant, and now you're just smoking weed on every day,
right,
you're still lessening the amount of harm.
Yeah.
So there's two schools of thought when it comes to addiction. There's the, like, it has to be just completely you're off of everything.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which I think is a more dangerous way of looking at it. And then there's the harm reduction theory, which is like, as long as you keep moving in the direction of less harmful,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's a positive step and it should be encouraged.
Yeah, and it depends. I mean, there's some people that are addicted to just being high, and then which is honestly probably more the majority. But then there's people like myself who didn't really have an issue with, like, I never was obsessive about smoking pot or drinking or even using coke or LSD or any of that shit. It was really only opiates that fucking ruled my life, that fucking, get me to that obsessive state of I have to do it.
Well, and there's also, there's some people who are like hardcore alcoholics who do manage to cut back to the point where they're not drinking at dangerous, risky levels.
Well,
it's extremely rare, but it does happen.
I would argue that they're not really alcoholics then.
Okay, well, but they were at the point where they were drinking and behaving in every way like an alcoholic, and they managed to cut back to the point where they're not like losing their job or fucking losing their family and shit. So, and let me make it clear, you're talking less than 1% of the people that have that issue. No,
I was going to say there's heavy drinkers that could present as alcoholics that are just heavy drinkers.
But I mean, the whole point is, it's like with harm reduction, it's like, as long as it's to a less harmful place, you encourage it as the person who's like helping somebody deal with addiction. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah,
because your eventual goal, of course, is to be like, yeah, you don't do that at all, but you're always encouraging those steps.
Yeah. No, I get it. If you're fucking addicted to heroin and you're just smoking weed, that's kind of that's definitely much better. You'd like to get to the point where you don't need anything.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what you really want to get to when they're sober. But
you're not likely to be robbing people and stealing shit to support your weed habit.
Yeah, it's essentially it's the same. It's similar to like you assume that people are going to relapse.
Right.
Like you don't punish people for relapsing. Like you don't turn it into this big like you're the worst person in the world thing, because that's just going to make them want to do it again.
Yeah,
that more and less likely to want to keep going on sobriety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's why. I don't know what the meetings are like anywhere else, but here, like, we're not. We're incredibly supportive of somebody that's coming back in from a run. We're not fucking beating them up, and I doubt there's very many meetings that are like that.
No,
there's some people that are
some people are like that. Yeah. Some meetings are good with that, some are not. You just got to be.
Yeah.
It's like picking a therapist. You got to pick the right meeting to go to.
Yeah. But there's not a lot of that here. Unless, I mean, there's sometimes there's people that are like, you're like, how hard are you trying, dude? That have been in and out for years and years and years. You're like, it's a little tougher in that situation.
Absolutely.
Like, dude, I don't know how hard you're trying.
Well, we have a lot of clients who have institutional sobriety that we had to deal with. At least not as much in the program I'm in now, but somewhat in that program, but a lot worse than the program I was at before, which is just like, they were sober for like the last 6 months. Well, they were in jail, dude.
Right.
Like, that's not really sober. That's just being in jail.
It's a lot easier.
Locked in a mental health institution and didn't have access to fucking, meth. So, of course they haven't done it in 6 months.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Although, again, usually in jail you can get high if you really want to. But, it's a lot fucking harder, No,
it depends on what kind of jail you're talking about.
Right. Whether it's maximum or minimum security.
The prisons and stuff, it's much easier in the prisons. In the actual just jails, it's really not.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, I gotcha.
And that also depends on what state you're in as to how the jails and the prisons are run. So it might be different in other states. But in California, they're really, like, you really would be very unlikely to be able to get some fucking drugs in jail. I'm sure it can be done. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it happens.
At least in my area, it's real unlikely that you're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult to smuggle shit in. Yeah.
But the places I think where you would be able to do that is if you got to get into like the work release programs or the fucking
like a halfway house type thing.
Halfway house kind of stuff. There's like some farm. We have like a thing where people go and they work on the farm kind of deal, where they go live on a farm and work it as their
right.
That's usually for younger kids, but the work farm is like one of those ones where it's fairly easy to get drugs, and people get, kicked out of that all the time because they, go off and do some meth.
Mm-hmm.
And they get regularly tested, so one wonders how they thought they weren't going to get caught, or if they just don't care.
Yeah, that's the thing. If once you get the urge to get high, it's really overpowering, and you're not thinking about consequences. If you get set off that badly, consequences be damned. You're going to get high.
Oh yeah. Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
I don't doubt that for a minute.
Because you think about like fucking professional athletes, that's going to cost them millions and millions of dollars if they get high, and they still get high. Like, it's an incredibly overpowering urge once that urge fucking hits.
Yeah. Well, it's like one night I came into work, and the poor girl hadn't been there very long, but she'd been talking with these two guys for like 3 hours. And they were like, "Oh, my grandma's really sick. I'm going to go visit my grandma," and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, "You can't do that. You've only been in this program for, 3 days. You're not allowed off property. That's just not an option. I mean, physically, I can't stop you, but we're not going to allow it, ever. That's never going to happen."
Right. Like, we know you're going to get high, motherfucker.
Well, at a certain point, I was like, "Look, this conversation is over. We know you're going to go smoke meth. You either leave and do it, or don't leave and don't do it. But we're not going to sit here and talk about it for 4 fucking hours.
Right.
It's just ridiculous.
You're never going to get the permission. We're never going to say, "Oh yeah, go see your grandma," because you're not going to.
It was ridiculous that it had gone on as long as it had before I got there. Like, I'm really glad I got there when I did, because this poor girl, thought she was going to talk them out of it, and they kept her going for all this time. And I'm like, "Look, either go smoke meth or don't, or you're not fucking going to get permission. You're never going to be like okay with this."
Yeah, that's funny.
Like, and if you take off without permission and come back, we will piss test you, and you'll come back dirty. We know it. Stop playing this game.
Yeah, that's funny. Or not funny, but like just the fact that you got
hilarious, dude.
Well, you got the one girl that thinks she's going to somehow talk this fucking addict out of going to get high, and you got the addict somehow thinking he's going to talk her into letting him go.
Like we really believe he's going to go visit his grandma. He didn't even go to her fucking house. We know better.
Yeah. No, I can fucking, dude. I've lost count of how many times I've fucking had to fucking tell people, like, dude, you're talking yourself into getting high. Like, correct yourself or fucking go do it, but don't waste our fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to be clean, don't be clean.
Exactly.
But fucking don't try to fucking talk. I'm not signing off on the bullshit you're fucking spewing here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's amazing.
There comes that point. You got to fish or cut bait. You're either going to go get high, or you're not going to go get high. But this conversation between you and I, sir.
Well, especially if I'm like taking time from like the wife and kids back in the day, I'd be like, dude, I'm not. I have some pretty limited time to help people out, so I'm not wasting it on somebody that doesn't seem to want to be clean. Yeah. Like, when you're fucking ready, you fucking let me know. I'll fucking go to the ends of the earth with you, buddy. But you're talking yourself into getting high. That's what you're doing right now. Yeah.
And I'm not here to make your decisions for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be fucking. I'm certainly capable of an incredible amount of compassion, but that's not compassionate to fucking sign off on the fucking bullshit, dude. Yeah. I love that saying.
And it's also it's insulting. It's like, look, man, I'm not stupid, and I don't appreciate you treating me like I'm too fucking dumb to realize your game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, all us fucking addicts, our bullshit detector is really well tuned. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, anybody who's worked with addicts, their bullshit detector had better be pretty well tuned, or they're not fit for the job.
Yeah. If you've actually done the shit too, like, it's even that much better. You know what I mean?
No, I'm sure you're better at picking it up than I am. But
not necessarily.
I've done a lot of bullshit working in mental health too. It's like I've seen enough.
No, it was the whole thing with my ex trying to pretend she wasn't getting high. I'm like, bitch, I've done the shit you're doing. I recognize these behaviors. You know why? Because I've fucking done them. You're not fucking fooling me, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was it? I got a good training when I was super young, like, oh God, 20, 21 years old. No, I would have been 22.
Mm.
This chick who was dating this guy, and this dude was the nicest guy on the fucking planet too, which really didn't help. I felt so bad for him. But she tried to convince me for like 2 fucking hours that you could cheat on, that you could be the person that somebody was cheating on their boyfriend with and end up in a relationship, and it would be a good, healthy relationship.
Yeah,
and I'm just sitting there like, no, I don't think that would be healthy at all. I would never do that. Like, I'm not gonna fucking
I mean,
it's cheating on someone else ever.
Yeah, it's a really bad idea. And again, that may occasionally happen, but that's exceedingly rare. That somebody's going to cheat on someone else with you and then not cheat on you. Yeah, that's exceedingly rare.
Trying to get me to fucking cheat with her, I'm thinking. You know, like at the time, I didn't really cue in on it because I was fucking dumb.
Right.
Like now, I look back and I'm like, obviously she was thinking of cheating on her boyfriend with me, and I'm just like, that's really fucked up. But if I thought it back then, I was kind of a scummy dude. I'd have probably said, look, I don't have a problem being the person somebody's cheating with. I mean, I don't have a fucking commitment to that person. I just don't think a relationship's going to happen.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, do not leave that guy for me because I'm not dating your fucking cheating ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's more like, you know, hey, if you want to cheat on him, I'm certainly willing to fucking take up that slack once or so. You know, every couple times a week, we can get together and have some hot fucking sex. But
but again, for a chick,
but at that age, I probably would have been in. I would have been totally fucking in at that age because I was a scummy fucking kid. But
yeah, but again, you wouldn't have fucking dated her. Like if she left her fucking, you mess around for a while and
relationship. I don't know,
but that's probably when you're
young. It's hard not to fall in love with the person you're fucking.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, before you realize what the difference is between infatuation and actual love.
Yeah. I like to think I never would have fucking fell for the relationship aspect of it, but I don't know. Maybe.
No, at that age,
you know, just because it would have been a shitty fucking thing to do, and I'd look back on it and be like, God damn, that was dumb.
Right. Yeah.
And just mean, because that dude was so nice. And, like, I think they were getting married last I heard.
Yeesh.
I don't know, man. That was a weird situation. That chick was fucking crazy. She was in my phone under Crazy Sarah. It's like, it was weird. At the time, I knew, like, fucking 4 or 5 different girls named Sarah. So she just, like, she was the crazy one.
Yeah, that's the Crazy Sarah. Yeah.
She was out of her fucking mind, man. There were plenty of times when we'd be out, you know, a group of people be out drinking, and I'd be like carrying her from one bar to the next, literally like on my shoulder.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I've talked about it before. I'm not as strong now as I used to be when I was younger, but when I was younger, I was really fucking strong.
Right.
Carrying a human being like 3 or 4 blocks on my shoulder really wasn't like a big deal.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh yeah, whatever, man. I can do 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I have my back now. I don't think I could carry one person any real length unless I had to. Like maybe there was a fire.
Yeah, I could do it over short distance. But yeah, anything that's long term or repetitive, I can't do with my back. Like I can lift heavy shit, I just can't keep lifting heavy shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you mean. It's like you can pick up that 30-pack of soda or whatever, big old case of soda and sling it around real easy once or twice. But if you're doing that for like an hour, it's over.
Yeah, I'm not going to fucking survive that.
Yeah, even though a case of soda is not super heavy, but
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. It'd be like a fucking sure, I could lift up and carry a fucking 100-pound of dog food, but yeah, I'm not stacking it all day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, once to put it in my cart and once to bring it in the house, and then we're done.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, I love being able to do that though. Being able to just carry like the big ass bag of dog food out to the car, even though I can only do it like the one time. It's just like saves me
still
so
kind of
much
showing
trouble
off.
with, like, nah, it just I hate fucking dealing with carts, man. Like I'm so lazy. Like I've already walked that distance once. Now I got to go walk back further again and do like 2 more like little trips just to fucking take the cart back and then come back to the car.
Right.
I hate that part. I always like to park as close to the cart return as possible, so I only have to make the shortest extra trip.
Yeah. Indeed.
It's not. You would think it's about showing off, right? But nah, it's some. I really don't want to walk any more than I have to.
Yeah, I hear you.
Which I really need to be doing. I need to be out walking every day.
Right.
Every day, more than just doing shopping trips and stuff.
Yeah, I need to start getting back to the gym, dude. It's been like a couple months now. What was it? Probably the end of November. I stopped fucking going to the gym, so I definitely need to get back.
Yeah, winter's like that though. I think it's kind of so easy just to not go out. At least and kind of shitty like gray weather, but
yeah, it makes it tough. The seasonal affective disorder or whatever.
I think that it's not really like I don't have SADS or anything. I just the weather's shitty and it's really easy if you're lazy to be like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's not necessarily depression, but it's definitely harder to stay motivated for fucking shit.
And then when it's like sunny, you're like, oh, but it's still kind of cold out because it's winter. Maybe later.
Right. Like, fuck it.
Yep. Oh well, summer's coming. Springtime. That's when I'll get out and do it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Is it coming up to time already? Because I feel like I gotta take a hell of a piss.
Yeah. I think we're already petering out anyway, dude.
About 2 hours, 20 minutes. That's not too bad.
Right. Yeah. We put in the work, dude. I think we're good. Let's call it.
Talking about being lazy. We're calling it here, man.
We could go on, but it's winter and all, so we're gonna cut it short
because of the rain.
Yeah.
All right.